We are live. Let me check it on my phone. All right, audio's good. What's going on, guys? We have 4 people. Hold on. I'll listen to myself. Yes. We have 4 people. All right, we have 5 now. Cool. What's going on, guys? We have 4 people. Alrighty. Let's wait for some more. This bitch again. All right. Forgive me, all. I don't. I'll read some chat or some comments in the chat in a moment. I'm just checking some things. All right, super chat is on. Cool. Emojis are on. We have 7. Cool. All right, let's read some shit. Lost respect for. Let me turn on my camera, bro. Lost some respect for Casimero after allowing Heredia to mount off to Rachel like that. Rachel. It's not Rachel, it's Rachel. There's a British Filipino who Prego schools him. You mean lost respect to Rachel and Donato? He started accusing Casimero just about stories of Donato's issues. Heredia was just being offended. It's a normal reaction, dumbass. Uh-oh. Some motherfuckers fighting over here. Lost in respect for Donato for being a victim-baiting, virtue-signaling coward beta coward. Donato is overrated, self-entitled, snobbing diva who can only pressure smaller fighters. That's why he's scared of higher divisions and stays on bantamweight. Where WC, he had outgrown already. Do we have any? Yeah. TBG on that Filipino time. Motherfucker. You were right, baby. Where this guy at? I'm right here, bro. What time did you wait? 10:41? Cool. Waiting. He is spying on Rigo. He will be here shortly. Oh, that's me. The biggest problem with Rigo is he runs and turns constantly. Oh, you don't mean that, Ralph. Where? Oh, the first comment right here. Allowing Heredia to mouth off the ratio like that. There's a British Filipino who Rigo schools him. I mean, he ain't got no control on Heredia's mouth. And if we know Heredia, you know, if you guys know Heredia has this reputation of being a big mouth motherfucker. So I don't think Casimero can really stop him from saying shit, you know? Is there Loma Rigo too? I don't think Rigo will come back up. Loma's too big for him. Nope. True. I got Rigo in the second fight. Do you? I think Loma's too big. By decision. What is that? Is that a boxing glove? Cool. Alright, so we can start this stream by talking about the fight a while ago. I'm looking all around. That camera is actually at the center. By talking about the fight a while ago, Colbert versus Nyambayar. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't fucking know. His first name is even harder to pronounce. I think it's Nyambayar. I don't know. But the first one is easier. Chris Colbert. That motherfucker was boring as hell. He was just throwing jabs and jabs. And then he would smother, he would hug with his opponent after he throws, so it was kind of boring. Fucking terrible ass fight, you know? King Tug. Yeah, but the real name is like hard to pronounce, right? Tug Nambayar. Something like that. It's a long ass name. I don't even bother reading it. Tug Nambayar. Hold on, let me look up the spelling of that shit. Tug Nyambayar. Nyambayar. I don't know. He's a slapper. True. Alrighty. Late, bro, sorry. I'm late. You think you're late? I'm late, bro. Casimero needs to be unorthodox, content closing, and make the fight real ugly. Ski Dragunov 29. Badass name right there. I am late. Yeah, but if you look at me, I kept changing the time. Started at 10:20, or not, 10:15, 10:30, 10:40, 10:45. Floyd popularized these weak-ass lap hooks. Yeah, because it allows you to, like, lean back while still checking your opponent and countering them, you know. And so, by nature, the part of your fist that will hit your opponent is this, not this. It's not like this. It's gonna be like this, and so this will be the part that will hit your opponent. It's like, so some people call it a slap, but it's legal. Once you hit your opponent with this, it's a back fist, not allowed. All right, I think we can start now. So, Casimero versus Rigondeaux, after all the drama that occurred with fucking Rachel and Nonito, after all that cancellation bullshit, I'm always tempted to click on the damn comments, bro. No wonder why you keep. Yeah, because like if you hit the bag with this part of your fist, there's a higher chance of your fist getting turned over like this. So that will eventually break your fist. More so on this part. How did I know? Because I had a wrist injury in the past, and it will usually like occur on this part, on this fucking bone. I don't know what it's called, but I had it in basketball. I injured my fist. My fist went like this, or yeah, it's in basketball. My hand went like this, and this part of my wrist got injured. Not this, but like the back part right here. Luckily, I didn't require surgery or anything like that. But it'll definitely like, damn, 13 viewers, cool. But it's definitely like dangerous to punch like that because there's a higher chance of you like turning your fist like this. We can start now with the fight. Rigondeaux versus Casimero. This was so far has been a roller coaster. You know, I don't really know how to hype up the fans or anything like that. Like most of these content creators be doing, they be screaming in their fucking streams and they be ranting about shit. I just talk and I share my opinions about these things. So again, after all that shit, luckily this was the initial fight because if it was Rigondeaux versus Casimero, then it turned to Donato versus Casimero, then it turned to another fight, another opponent. It's gonna be a whole different opinion again. It's gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be. I'm gonna have to study it over and over again, and I'm gonna have to move on to another fighter. So that's sort of difficult, and it's just confusing on my part because I look at all these opponents just to end up knowing that they actually won't fight each other, and that fucking simple quit, you know, because of apparently Casimero disrespected his wife and all that shit. But anyway, we're back to this old head, Rigondeaux, this bald head right here, which a lot of people are underestimating. I do think he has a chance, just because of his style, but you know, we never know in the ring. I think he has a chance. So many people are talking about his age and all this shit, but if you look at the stats, they are far, far behind each other. So if you match them up, the age and then the stats, you'll realize that Rigondeaux's output is actually not. It hasn't declined as much as people think. And that's why I want to talk about this, because I want to point out that Rigondeaux actually has a chance, you know. What does Casimero do better than Rigondeaux? I think we can start with this. And obviously he does a lot of things better than Rigondeaux, just because by nature he's younger, he's in his prime. He's stronger, he's naturally more powerful. He has more physical gifts. So I'd give the power and the speed advantage to Casimero, definitely. I'll also give the strength advantage to Casimero. Yeah, I'd also give the what else would I give? The tactical battle is a tough one. You know, reach, that's on Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux is longer than Casimero, and then I would give. Yeah, Casimero just does a lot of things better than Rigondeaux. Footwork, I would say Rigondeaux is better at footwork than Casimero. Most of you will say no, but Rigondeaux uses it more, and I think that's the reason why I would pick him to have better footwork than Casimero. Casimero doesn't use it as much, you know. Punch variety, I'd definitely pick Casimero as well, just because he has a lot of punches in his arsenal. These days, Rigondeaux, we all know he abandoned his fucking right hand. He doesn't jab. He doesn't really use that lead hand. So those are some strengths that we can look at and we can take away from Casimero in this fight against Rigondeaux. Next up, what does Rigondeaux do better than Casimero? Rigondeaux is longer. Rigondeaux is better at fighting in the long range. Rigondeaux uses his footwork more. Rigondeaux has a better ability to move his legs around and move around. And to be honest with you, Rigondeaux is more conservative with his energy. If you look at that fight with Seha, most people will say he got into a firefight. He just shoved up like this. But to me, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Why is that? Because most of those shots are getting blocked. Most of those shots are from Seha are getting blocked, which is, by the way, the next opponent of Mark Magsayo. So definitely support the Filipino fighter, Mark Magsayo. He'll fight Julio Seja on the undercard of Spence versus Pacquiao. So watch out for him. But anyway, damn, we have a new comment. I'll look at that later. I'll look at the comments later, guys. If you look at that fight with Seja, most people will say he doesn't move his head as much anymore and all this shit. But to me, that's a good thing. And the reason why it's a good thing is because it's more conservative and it allows him to save his energy for other things rather than just saving it for defending himself. And again, look at that fight with Seja. He wasn't moving as much. He wasn't as slick as before. But the advantage was he was able to reserve that energy for throwing more punches. So you look at that fight, he threw 400 plus punches in 8 rounds. That is more than Casimero threw in 12 rounds against Sultan, I think. Against Sultan, he only threw 300 plus punches. So, again, we have to ask ourselves, whenever you're fighting in the ring or whenever you're watching a fight in the ring, you have to look at it and say, okay, why are they doing this? Why is Rigondeaux not moving as much? Why is Rigondeaux not moving around as much? Why is Rigondeaux not as slick as he's used to? Why is Rigondeaux just standing there? Well, it's pretty damn simple. He's probably saving that energy for something else. And you look at the CompuBox numbers, they kind of tell you the same thing. You look at the CompuBox numbers, you can see that obviously Rigondeaux reserved all that energy for throwing punches and for being more offensive, which again, it's going to be a tough question whether or not that's going to work against Casimero because Casimero has the power advantage and Casimero has more speed on his side. So against Seja, he might have been able to get away with it, but against Casimero, it might be harder. And if you look at the stats again, Rigondeaux throws more punches than Casimero. Okay, you guys may say the same thing, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Okay, in his last fight against Solis, he was able to throw 475 in 12 rounds. Okay, that's more than Casimero threw in his 12-round fights. In his fight that lasted 12 rounds, he didn't throw as much. He threw like 300 plus or something like that. But again, Rigondeaux throws more punches. And if you look at that fight with Donaire as well, which is kind of ironic, he threw 396. And then in that fight with Solis in 2019, he threw 475. So he's actually throwing more punches now than before. And you guys may argue that, his punches now are not as powerful and shit like that. But, he still hurt some guys. You look at Solis, Liborio Solis got caught with that left uppercut from Rigondeaux, he was like all wobbly, his legs were shaking all around. Same thing with Seja. And same thing with a lot of his other opponents. Same thing with that dude Delgado, who got KO'd, I think, in the first round. Again, you see all of these things just playing out, and then you have to ask yourself, is Rigondeaux really showing a lot of age? And to me, he's not. He's not showing a lot of age. It's just a question of using his energy properly and knowing when to move, knowing when to be slick, knowing when to plant his feet, knowing when to throw punches, and then knowing when to shell up and just defend himself. That's really the main question here. And I think a lot of people are underestimating Rigondeaux because he's 40 years old. He's fucking an old head and a lot of this shit. But he can still move, he can still fight. He can still throw a lot of punches. He can still throw combinations with ease. And that's what I think is the advantage of Rigondeaux against Casimero. Let's read some comments. Rigo likes to disengage and attack in surprising spurts. The reach won't be a problem as both have the same height and Casimero closes quickly. Casimero needs to bully Rigondeaux. That's true. Rigo likes to disengage and attack in surprising spurts. That's true. That's true. Rigo is too old. I'm afraid it's Rigo Mortiz after August 14. That's true. Yeah. Casimero's a bad matchup style for Rigo. Casimero with the bladed stance, dirty tactics, and explosiveness will cook Rigo. Here's the thing that Rigo is better at doing compared to Donaire. Rigondeaux is better at handling smothering pressure. Or Casimero is better, or fuck. Rigo is better at handling smotherers. So he has a way of keeping his ground. He has a way of standing up and not allowing himself to be pushed back way too much. We've seen this with his fight with Seha. We've seen this with his fight with who else is this guy? With Solis. We've seen this with his fight even against Lomachenko. Okay, even when Lomachenko was trying to employ his wrestling tactics against Rigondeaux wasn't as. It's not easy to push back Rigondeaux. That small fucking body frame that he has, this motherfucker moved up 2 weight classes to fight Lomachenko. And surprisingly, Lomachenko didn't push him around and he didn't smother him around as much as we thought. So I think there is an underestimated element of Rigo's game where he's not as easily pushed around as maybe a Donaire, who, if you look at him, he moved up. He fought fucking a Frampton and Walters, and then he got pushed around. Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes against Lomachenko, and he wasn't as easily smothered. He wasn't as easily pushed around. And even though Lomachenko was applying a lot of pressure on him, putting a lot of volume in his punches, he threw a lot of punches. I have to look at the Compi boss on that one. He threw a lot of punches because Rigondeaux has a way of like keeping his feet on the ground and not allowing himself to be pushed back and not allowing himself to try to touch the ropes. And he also has this illegal move of bending at the waist, so that kind of helps too. Let's see this one. Is Rigondeaux a tougher fight for Casimero than in? No, then not in a way. God damn, I have to edit this shit. Hold on. Then Donaire. No, motherfucker. Yeah, Donaire. Surprisingly, my last stream was. I had a lot of bad words on that stream, but it was still monetized. So I think it's only applicable if you say it over and over again. If you say fuck, if you say that over and over again, you'll get demonetized. But for this one, or for my last stream, it was still monetized. And I had no problems with demonetization. I agree. You need two hands to beat Casimero. Rigo has forgotten to use his lead hand, it seems. Yeah, he uses it as a measuring tool now, not as much for offense. He used to have a right hook as well. In his fight with Donaire, he used to have that fucking right hook that just pierces right through your guard, and that wasn't present in his fight against Casimero, or in his fight against. Damn it, I don't know what I'm saying now. If Rigo keeps on turtle guarding and squaring he'll get knocked out quick. But then again, he does that spinning exercises, where he bends out the waist and then pivots around and then pivots around and then pivots around. He did it over and over again against Lomachenko. And even though Lomachenko had great angles, great footwork, great in and out, great in and out offense, you can still see that Lomachenko had some difficulties. And you can still see that he had a hard time trying to catch him on that move, which is, by the way, illegal. It is illegal to crouch down below the waist of your opponent. That shit is illegal. But a lot of fighters have gotten away with it. Floyd, Pernell Whitaker, even Casimero sometimes gets away with it, when he smothers on the inside. But it's an illegal move if you look at the rules of boxing. Crouching down below the waist of your opponent, that's an illegal move, but a lot of people get away with it. Alright, I'm gonna charge my shit because I'm about to run out of battery. I'll just turn off the camera for a while. Alright, no problem there. Was Rigondeaux a tougher fight for Casimero than Donaire? I would say so, and here's the reason why. Rigondeaux has underrated strength, and Rigondeaux has this underrated ability to keep his feet planted to the ground. Okay, he has this ability to also cut to expand the distance between him and his opponents, and he also has this underrated ability of handling smotherers. Donaire doesn't have that. when when Donaita's opponents tries to wrestle him, he doesn't know what to do. When Rigondeaux has a lot of fighters who try to wrestle him, he knows what to do. And I think that's the main difference between Rigondeaux and Donaita. Rigondeaux knows how to handle dirty tactics. Why is that? Because he uses it as well, motherfucker. He uses dirty tactics as well. So he knows when he faces an opponent who has those same dirty tactics, he knows how to handle it because he's dirty as a motherfucker too. Okay? So that's really the main difference between Rigondeaux and Donaita. Rigondeaux knows how to handle the dirty tactics of his opponents. Will he be able to handle the dirty tactics of Casimero? I would say so, but only for a while. After a while, Casimero will eventually adjust and catch him off guard with his ring IQ and his strategic approach to the game, just like how we did with Tete. And so I think Rigondeaux is a tougher fight, and that's why when it was announced by Silver Voice, which is the all around guy for MP Promotions, when it was announced that Rigondeaux is about to replace Donaita again to fight Casimero, I wasn't as disappointed, and the reason why is because deep inside I know that Rigondeaux is actually a tougher fight for Donaita or for Casimero than Donaita because he has a lot more to offer stylistically. Donaita only has a puncher's chance. If I can be completely honest with you guys, Donaita only has a puncher's chance. So in this fight, I think Rigondeaux is definitely a tougher opponent than Donaita. Okay, brawling for boxing, who will pay? Now, these fighters have a similarity that they have in common. They share these two things, and it's the fact that there's a duality in their styles. Number one, Casimero has the style where he wants to box sometimes. Example, Tete. Example, who else has he boxed against? He has boxed against Martinez, I think that's his name. And he also has this side that brawls, which is what we've seen the last time around against Duke Micah. That's a guy that we've seen. It's a brawler, right? It just goes right at you. Damn, 17. Thank you guys for stopping by. I expected like 10, but 17 is pretty cool too. So again, they have two similarities. Rigondeaux, on the other hand, he has this boxing tactic, which he used in the later rounds against Solis, and then he also has this brawler side, which he used in the early rounds against Solis, and the style that he also used against Julio Ceja, which is the upcoming opponent of Mark Magsayo. So again, it is a similarity that they both have, and now it's a question of who will brawl and who will box. It's a question of will they want to brawl against each other or will they want to box each other, and who will pay in case this happens. Okay, now if they brawl, here's the thing: it is going to be much more challenging for Casimero than people think, and I'll tell you guys why. Rigondeaux has an underrated high guard. He has an underrated high guard defense. He has an underrated shell that he uses. Okay, he has this underrated ability of blocking shots. And I think if they engage on the inside, if they fight, if they plant their feet and decided to get into a brawl, most of Casimero's shots will be blocked for a little while, okay? Until Casimero figures him out and eventually finds the angles and the right punches to place. And so, again, if they get into a brawl early on, I think Rigondeaux will block most of the punches of Casimero because he has this underrated high guard defense. He has this underrated shell. If you don't believe me, go look at that fight with Ceja and look how difficult it was for Ceja to break the guard of Rigondeaux. If you look at those fucking arms that he has some pretty strong arms, you know, and you'll see that with you know his blocking abilities. All right, StreamYard for some reason is saying that my Wi-Fi is unstable. I'm not sure if I'm lagging on your side, but yeah, it's good now. All right, cool. So if they brawl, that's why. That's how I think it will go. I think if they get into a brawl, most of Casimero's punches will be blocked for a little while, and then later on, Casimero will eventually figure him out and find the right punches to throw. Damn, why is my laptop saying that the Wi-Fi is unstable? It's not lagging? Cool. Cool. Damn it. StreamYard, you're fucking, you're bullshitting me, man. The fuck? Oh, it is fine. Yeah. It says right here, like, your connection is unstable. This motherfucker. This fucking platform is lying, man. Okay. So next up. Alright, there are some comments already. I'll read that later, okay? So if they box, it depends on what range they box in. If it's the mid-range, I would say Rigondeaux has the edge. And I'll tell you guys why, okay? Rigondeaux is better at baiting his opponents to throw certain punches, and he is also better at reacting accordingly in those punches. Now, if you guys look at the fight between Casimero versus Tete, you'll see this clearly. You'll see how Casimero is only good at the long range and close range. At around the mid range, he usually gets caught off guard by quick punches. So it was the jab of Tete in that fight. For this fight, it may be the left hand and maybe the left uppercut. And again, Rigondeaux is just better at managing the mid range. And I'll explain this. Damn, I already made the film study, by the way. But again, if it's in the mid range, if they box in mid range, I think Rigondeaux will have the edge. If they stay far from each other, though, like long range, Casimero will have that. You know, Casimero has a better in and out footwork. Really, Rigondeaux only has two things. He has out and then back in, out and then back in. He doesn't know how to go in, out, and out, and out. He knows how to stand in one place, right? He stands in one place, he moves back, and then he counters, and then that's it. He doesn't know how to initiate the entry. He doesn't know how to initiate the attack. He always waits for you. And so if it's in long range, I will say that Casimero has the edge. I'll make this really simple for you guys, simply because he has the ability to initiate and to also counter from the long range. He has the ability to measure the distance from long range, and he has the entering, or he has a lot of ways to enter his opponents. He can leap in with a left hook. He can leap in with the left uppercut, like he did with Duke Micah. You know, he went like this. He was mocking Micah, and then he threw a left uppercut. He leaped in, if you remember that. And then against Yamashita as well, he pawed his left hand right here. He threw the left uppercut. He leaped in also. And again, that was just an amazing thing. Casimero knows how to manage the long range better because he has multiple ways to enter and to cut the distance. If it's in mid-range, though, it's going to be tougher because, number one, Rigondeaux is longer, and number two, Rigondeaux has seen all kinds of opponents. And I think that if they fight in the mid-range, he'll find a lot of ways to counter and to force Casimero to overcommit and then eventually counter him. And again, the difference between Donaire and Rigondeaux is that Donaire or Rigondeaux doesn't have the same overcommitting tendencies of Donaire. He doesn't have those same tendency to overcommit and to be off balance like Donaire. Okay? So usually when Rigondeaux throws a right hook, a powerful shot, he goes back out right away. He throws a powerful left uppercut, he goes back out right away. He doesn't have the same overcommitting tendencies of a Donaire who throws his uppercut and then he flies all over the place and then he gets off balance. It doesn't have that. So it's going to be much harder for Casimero to time him. I think if Casimero fought Donaire, he'll have all sorts of ways to counter him because Donaire gets off balance all the time. He gets wild all the time. And Rigondeaux doesn't have that tendency to be wild, honestly. He's pretty smart. He's pretty careful with his shots. And again, I think that this will be a much closer fight than people think, you know, and whether it's brawling or boxing, if Rigondeaux applies the right game plan, he will be able to win some rounds against a Casimero. The only danger that Rigondeaux really has in this fight, or the only dangerous thing that is present for Rigondeaux in this fight is a possibility of a knockout, which I think is very likely given the amount of options that Casimero has when it comes to his offense, and given the amount of punches that he can throw, given the amount of power shots that he has in his arsenal. He has the left hook to the body, he has the left uppercut, the right hook, the right hand, the left hook to the head, the left uppercut to the body. He has multiple ways to knock out his opponents. And again, I think either way, both of them can pay depending on their game plan. If Rigondeaux decides to brawl with Casimero, I think he can win. If he knows how to balance his movement and his blocks, his high guard defense, which is pretty damn tight too. If they decide to box against each other, the same thing applies. If it's in the mid range, if Rigondeaux has the ability to force or to trap Casimero in the mid range, I think he can counter him. Casimero has his ability of overcommitting on the right hand and then leaning over here, right? All Rigondeaux has to do again is to step back and then throw the left hand from the side. And he has a lot of other counters that he can do, which I'm not going to discuss anymore. But if he can force or if he can invite Casimero in the mid range, I think Rigondeaux will dominate. If it's in the long range, though, I think Casimero will dominate. So those are my opinion on that. Where did I start? Or where did we stop, I should say? Let's see. I think I stopped right at around here. If Casimero decides to go into the southpaw, the fight will be easier. Casimero can't really counter check hook Rigo with his high speed tempo spurt attacks. Yeah, that's true. Because Rigo gets out really quickly. He doesn't have the same wild tendencies of a Donaire. Donaire has a tendency to stay too much in punching range. After he throws the left hook, he doesn't really step back as quickly. But Rigondeaux does a really good job of getting out of there before you can even counter him. Round 1, Rigo. Francis Caspi. Round 2 to 7, Casimero. And then not lagging, Hector. Round 8, TKO by Casimero. That's a good prediction right there. Round 2 to 7, Casimero. Round 1, Rigo. Round 8, Casimero. That's a good one. Decision by Casimero. Possible. Audio is fine, cool. Rigo will be defensive. This will be a decision. Yeah, I think a lot of people overlook his defensive abilities. Yes, he's old, but he's also more conservative, and he saves much more energy with his movement. And we've seen something that we haven't seen in the earlier parts of his career, which is his blocking skills, right? His ability to block all those shots. Defensive. Jin Kazama. Carlo JS. From what I see, Casimero's training is that he's evolving and adding new things in his back. Yeah, that's with Jorge Capetillo, though. He's going to move to California. If you guys don't know, he's going to move to California and come back to his old trainer, Nono Ineri, which was his trainer against Solani Tete. So the training methods might be a little bit different, but the strength and conditioning coach, I think, is the same. It's still going to be Memo Heredia, the big mouth who caused the cancellation on Donaire versus Casimero. Tete did not even land one clean punch. That's true. But he kept Casimero at bay. He kept Casimero at a distance until Casimero found that right time, and then he entered through a right uppercut. He does know how to initiate. He likes to do that pendulum attack. Yeah, the right hook, the leaping right hook, that's a good one. And then he also likes to do the leap. He's going to step in with the jab, and then he's going to throw that left uppercut. He has many ways to enter as well, but not as much. Carlo JS, yeah, I agree. Rigo definitely a higher risk than Donaire. Yeah, because he has a lot of ways to win. Donaire only has one way to win, and that's to knock the fuck out, and that's to knock Casimero the fuck out, Carlo JS, yep. Real Talk TV. Rigo's a different kind of animal. Casimero should have a solid game plan. If not, it's going to be a boring fight. Losing to an old dog. That's true. I hate to say it, but it's true. What would really be interesting is that Pacquiao will teach Casimero how to defeat Rigo as a southpaw, or Rigo as Pacquiao have a similar style with Rigo. Not necessarily. Rigo has a bladed stance. Rigo has is more defensive. Rigo has his hands down, and he's not as fast as Pacquiao. But Pacquiao can definitely give Casimero some good tips. I'm not going to deny that. Carluccio, yes, yeah, no doubt. I remember that Rigo versus Donato. Casimero fought all kinds of dirtiest boxers in their turf and won. Just imagine fighting Casimero and not doing dirty tactics. You're dead. Rigo always gets knocked down when he opens up. How many times have Rigondeaux been knocked down? I've only seen him getting knocked down against that Japanese guy who was tall. He was pivoting out, and then the guy caught him with the right hand. I'm not sure about any other instances where he got knocked down, though. Maybe you guys can tell me. Big test for Casimero. Big fucking test, man. Casimero is a technical brawler, hard to handle by a pure boxer like Rigo. Yeah, but again, Rigo has been adopting that fucking brawler style as well. So go look at his fight with Seha. Okay, here we go. Probability of going the distance and who has the edge. I think the probability of going the distance here, again, is the same format that I did in the Donato versus Casimero prediction. All of these banners are the same. I just kind of change it up a little bit. Probability of going the distance and who has the edge. I think going the distance is very likely for this one. But the chance of Rigondeaux getting knocked out is also high. I would give it a 50% chance that it's going to last 12 rounds. And I'd give it to... This is a tough one. I'd give it to Casimero by split decision if it happens. And I think, again, the reason why is because it's going to be a much closer fight than people think. Casimero has a lot of tendencies that Rigondeaux has taken advantage of in the past, which I'm not going to point out anymore. I've already done my film studies before. He has a lot of tendencies which Rigondeaux has taken advantage of, and he has a lot of tendencies which still needs to be improved. It needs to be improved on his side. Casimero has a tendency to be wild, and if he does decide to like go with that game plan that he had against Tete, well, he becomes gun shy. You know, just look at that fight with Tete. I don't think he threw any jabs. I don't think he threw a lot of power shots, but he caught Tete at the right time. If he didn't catch Tete in that fourth round, okay, before that punch happened, I think Tete was winning all the rounds. He wasn't landing a lot of shots, but he was taking control of the center of the ring. He was pressuring Casimero, and he was keeping Casimero at bay with his jab. So before that power punch by Casimero landed on Tete, Tete was winning all the rounds. So imagine if it happened to Rigo. What if it takes a long time between, or what if it doesn't? What if Casimero doesn't have like what it takes to land a good punch on Rigondeaux, and it ends up lasting for 12 rounds? What will happen? You know, the probability of him being outpointed is very high too. And you guys may ask, Rigo doesn't have the same. Rigo is not as much of a threat, so Casimero will not do the same thing that he did against Tete if he fights Rigondeaux. Well, here's the thing: Tete is not much of a monster as well when it comes to like knockouts. He's more of a boxer, also. But why did Casimero resort to that tactic? And again, Rigondeaux has the reach advantage too, so. It kind of leads us to believe that probably Casimero will go for the same game plan and he will lose some early rounds against Rigondeaux. But again, Rigondeaux doesn't have a jab, so it's kind of a dilemma right now. Okay, it's kind of a dilemma. But who knows? Maybe he uses it. Maybe he has this hidden jab that he's been hiding for years. So a lot of questions needs to be asked here. But probably of going the distance is 50%. Casimero by split decision. I think it's going to be a close one. And I think some people will want a rematch afterwards. I'm sorry, folks. I know Rigondeaux will probably be like 42 or 43 by the time that happens. But if it ends up being a decision, I think it's going to be a split decision in favor of Casimero. And some people will want a fucking rematch just because it's going to be much closer than people think. So that's it. Does Rigondeaux have a chance of winning by decision too? Absolutely. And if he does, it's also going to be a split decision. Okay, let's see. Mr. Prediction. Hold on, let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, this was the last one. Jun Kazama. My prediction is that what you're supposed to type. I don't think you were supposed to type Mr. Prediction. I think you were supposed to type my prediction. My prediction. This will be a decision by Casimero. Same here. If it does go to a decision, Casimero is a sharpshooter. He can knock out Loma if both in the same height, weight. He has been in 9 countries fighting in enemies' territories. Crazy guy. Well, CompuBox doesn't really agree with that, Sir Tony Lanzar. And if you look at the numbers in CompuBox, you will see that Casimero actually misses a lot of punches. But he makes up for it by landing that one power shot that really matters the most. So there are times where he lands like 15% in a round. And that was against Espinoza. In that fight with Duke Micah, he landed 0 jabs. Okay. In that fight with Tete, he landed 0 jabs. So he's not as much of a sharpshooter as we think he is. But he makes up for it with tremendous power. And he makes up for it with great timing as well. Ski Dragon of 29. Casimero will have a brawl game plan. This would not be a Tete game plan though. That's so far. Depends. Yeah, I would say so. And the reason why is because Rigondeaux doesn't have a jab. Doesn't have that long jab that Tete has. So I would agree with you there. Ski Dragon of 29. He doesn't have that jab. I really can't see it getting past 6 rounds. This is not going to be a tactics battle. Casimero ain't afraid of Rico's output, and Rigo would be forced to engage. Casimero's pendulum is so fast, and springy, he'll catch Rigo. That's true. It's just a matter of how they use it, how they'll use it. Just now, Casimero ain't afraid of Rigo's output. Oh, no. Casimero's ain't afraid of Rigo's output, and Rigo would be forced to engage. Casimero's pendulum is so fast and springy, he'll catch Rigo. I just read it the second time just so that I can understand it all. Probability of a TKO for both and now. Oh my fucking god. Rigondeaux. What's the chance of Rigondeaux knocking out Casimero? I'd give it a good 0%. Okay, he has no chance, absolutely no chance to knock out Casimero. I'm sorry. On the other hand, Casimero has a 70% chance of knocking out Donaire, of knocking out Rigondeaux. I keep flipping their names around. Yeah, Casimero has a 70% chance of knocking out Rigondeaux. And the simple reason was because Rigondeaux has a lot of defensive flaws that Casimero can take advantage of, while on the other hand, Casimero has a lot of defensive flaws too. But the question is really the fact that can Rigondeaux hurt Casimero? I don't think so. I don't think it will happen. They both have defensive flaws. They both have habits that can be taken advantage of. But the question here is, who can hurt the other guy more? And I think Casimero can hurt Rigondeaux more than Rigondeaux can hurt Casimero for this particular fight. So 70% on Casimero. And how will he knock out Rigondeaux? I would say a right hook while Rigondeaux is on the high guard, or a right uppercut while he is bending at the waist, like he did against Zelani Tete. Those are 2 instances. A right hook, a looping right on the high guard of Rigondeaux. It's going to pass through here. And then the other one is a right uppercut as Rigondeaux bends at the waist. Those are 2 ways that I can see happening. Ooh, shout out, bro. Curiosity Factory. Damn, someone asked me for a shout out. Shout out, man. Bro, shout out, Curiosity Factory. I never thought that I'd have people asking for a shout out here, but yeah, cool. Curiosity Factory. Shout out to you, man. Steven Seagal. Rigo is too old. Yeah, but again, we have to ask: does that match up with his current output? Does that match up with his performance? He doesn't move as much. He doesn't have the same footwork as before. He doesn't have the same movement as before. But he throws more punches. He has a higher volume of punches. You know what I'm saying? And hold on. Damn, there was a comment that caught me off guard. Okay. Where was I again? Yeah, you have to match that up with the output. He's 40 years old. Yeah, that's true. But look at the numbers, and you have to look at like his fights as well. Does he move the same way? Not necessarily. But does he still have the footwork? Yes. Look at the late rounds against Solis. You'll see some of his footwork. It's still there. He just doesn't use it as much. And now that you're older, you have to be wiser. You have to use your abilities and you have to use your attributes accordingly. You have to know when to move and when to plant your feet, when to brawl, when to box. And that's really the main thing that Rigondeaux needs to do in order to not allow his age to catch up to him. Because his punches are okay, his output is okay, but his ability to sustain it and to maintain it for a long time is really the thing that we have to watch out for. Where are you from, bro? Philippines, man. Curiosity Factory, Philippines. Philippines. I'm also from the Philippines. But my viewers are mostly from the US, so I speak English. Real Talk TV. Would you be willing to bet? Would you be willing to bet to wear a Hello Kitty hat if Rigo wins on your next live? Since you predicted, damn, that's a long time ago, bro. It's only like July 5th. Depends on where you're at, but no, it's July 4th in the Philippines. Um, to wear a Hello Kitty hat if Rigo wins in your next live. Since you predicted a 12 round decision with Casimero, just for fun. Let's see. Let's see. Make sure to like, if I keep seeing your name in the next lives, Real Talk TV, if I keep seeing you, and if you keep watching my next lives, I may remember this. But if I don't see you again on my live stream, I may forget completely about who the fuck you are. I may forget your name, and I may forget about this comment completely, and I will forget about wearing a Hello Kitty hat. So make sure that in my next lives you will be there so I can remember your name. Just like this guy, Quadroles Defender. In my last live he was here, and today or tonight he's also here, so I can remember him. You know, this is the time that Casimero would showcase his full arsenal, his footwork and slickness. We'll be seeing Loma versus Rigo with a KO, maybe. That's true. I want to see Casimero beat Rigo had his own game early to prove people he got skills, then finally put him out pasture. Wouldn't that be fun to like see two sides of Casemiro? Number one, the side of Casemiro that's slick, the side of Casemiro that moves well, and number two, the side of Casemiro that is wild and like the side of Casemiro just comes at you like a lion. He pressures you all the time. Casemiro Super Saiyan era is not yet pushed to its limit. Heredia's drills and conditioning is just too good. Casemiro Marcus punches like it's nothing. That's true. If you look at that fight, he got covered like a left hook. He went like this. And then he just came back and then he punched again. That motherfucker has a tough ass chin, man. Who do you think is a harder opponent for Casemiro? Prime Tete or Old Rigo? Expound. Good question. Finally. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Am I back? Let's see. Damn, I'm seeing myself on my damn phone. What the fuck? All right, we're back. I was forced to restart my laptop because it froze for some reason. So you like you press the power button for a long time, and that's how you can sort of restart it, force restart it. So that's what I did, and then I turned it on again. We will see Casimero in Mayweather mode. Jin Kazama. More more so James Toney, okay? So try watching some highlights of James Toney. You guys will see that one. Prime Mayweather, I mean, because Casimero doesn't have the shoulder roll. He doesn't really do this a whole lot. He uses his head movement, and he doesn't really use the shoulder roll as much. I lost some viewers because of that. God damn, we only have 12 right now. Factory. Oh, he's answering Curiosity Factory. Factory, Tete, because he's taller and has longer reach, and slick as well. You lagging, bro. Now that was when my laptop froze and shit happened, so I had to restart it. We'll do a real live. My laptop. That's my damn comment. What the fuck? Am I live on YouTube? Hold on. I haven't seen like any new comments. Am I live on YouTube? Yeah, I can see myself. No problem. Go, bro. Waiting for your answer. Tete, definitely Tete. You just said old Rigo, right? Old Rigondeaux? Old Rigondeaux. Let's see. Prime Tete or old Rigondeaux? Tete. Absolutely. Definitely Tete. Because, yeah, he's longer. Like, Quadro less defender here. Set. And I think that if they have a rematch, which I don't think it will happen now because Casimero defeated him convincingly, but if they have a rematch, Tate has the chance of like outboxing Casimero. More so than an old Rigondeaux. Rigo's a great boxer. He's a twice Olympic gold medalist for Cuba before turning pro. He has no losses in his weight division, while Casimero has 46 losses in brawling tactics from his enemies. I haven't seen all of Casimero's losses. Did he lose because he brawled, or did he lose against like brawlers? Only losses I know is from Mtalani and that dude who had dirty tactics, like wrestling tactics. Who's this dude again? I'm not Rueng. That's the only loss that I know. Those are the only losses that I know. That's why he's brawling back. Where am I again a while ago? God damn. Okay. Secret weapons for both fighters. For Rigondeaux, certainly the left uppercut. And again, the reason why is because Casimero has this habit of bending out the waist. And if you look at my past analysis on Casimero versus Donaire, I had the same answer as well. Left uppercut. Only difference now is that the left uppercut will be coming from the rear, as opposed to Donaire, where it will come from the lead hand, which will make it easier to land. Why is that? Because there is more distance between my left uppercut and your head. Okay, so if Casimero decides to bend out the waist, Rigondeaux won't have to sacrifice that momentum, and he will be able to land the left uppercut at ease because his left hand is at the rear. It's like this, right? It's at the rear. Donaire is orthodox right here. So it's hard to land that left uppercut because it's such an awkward angle. But if you're a southpaw and you're trying to land that left uppercut against an orthodox fighter, it's much easier because it's coming from the rear. It's much further away. You can get more rotation from your hips, more momentum. If you don't believe me, look at the fight between Ledwaba versus Pacquiao. You'll see this one. Ledwaba was bending at the waist, and Pacquiao was catching him with left uppercuts all night long. It was a breakout fight for Manny Pacquiao. Rest in peace to Ledwaba, by the way. And you guys will see that same thing happening over there. Ledwaba was bending at the waist. Pacquiao was timing him by throwing the left uppercut as well. And for Casimero, same thing. It's the right uppercut again because it will be coming from the rear. It's much easier to land it against the opposite stance, and there are multiple ways to set it up too. Right? You can set it up by bringing them to that position, throwing a punch that will bring them to that position. And then the second one is to force them to throw a punch that will bring their body to that position. So here are the two ways. I already tackled this in my Donato versus Casimero prediction or live stream, but I'm going to talk about it again today. So the first option is to bait them to throw a punch that will bring them to that position. That will be the left hook mainly. If you throw a left hook and you miss, it will look like this. And then you bend that to waist. Okay? So that's the first one. Force them to throw a punch that will bring them to that spot. Number two is to throw a punch that will bring them to that spot. What is that? It can be the right hook, the left hook, or no, against the opposite stance, it's going to be the right hook. We throw the right hook, they're going to bend at the waist. Or it can also be the left hook. Same thing. It can also be the right hook. The left hook against the opposite stance is going to force them to bend at the waist. And then you can eventually set up your uppercut from there while they are on their way down. So if they're bending at the waist here, get caught with the uppercut, just like what Casimero did to Tete. Let's see. So it's safe to say that it's an easy fight for Casimero since he KO'd Tete. If he catches Rigondeaux with a good shot. Okay, I would argue that Rigondeaux has a better defense than Tete. Okay, Tete is a more slick fighter. He has a better jab. He has a better footwork. Probably you can also argue that. But in terms of just reacting on the punches and frustrating and giving your opponents or forcing your opponents to miss, I think Rigondeaux is better. So we have to look at it relatively, like I always say. Where am I now? Best game plan for both fighters. Okay, hold on. Another comment. So why do they count Manny's IBO and ring titles to make him a 7-division champion? IBO and ring titles. I am not aware of this. I'm not aware of like the belts that are in the 8th division, that are included in the 8 divisions that Pacquiao has been a champion in. So I can't really answer this. Why do they count Manny's IBO and ring titles to make him a 7-division champion? Maybe maybe Jago. If Jago's here, he has a better answer for that. I don't really know because I don't know the whole history of how Pacquiao became an 8th division world champion. I don't know the belts and stuff. I just know that he's a fucking 8th division world champion, okay? Maybe Jago has a better answer, who's also in here at the moment. But me, I don't know. I don't know personally why they included that. Okay, best game plan for both fighters. It's tough. I haven't built it up. Hold on. They have the IBO, Ring Magazine, and Lineal to make up. Okay, here's Jago. Jago has an answer. IBO is a secondary belt. Ring belt is more legit than any of these alphabet belt. Really? I didn't know that. Okay, so Jago has the answer for that. IBO is a secondary belt. Ring belt is more legit than any of these alphabet belt. What do they count, Manny's? IBO, Ring, and Lineal to make up 3 divisions. I don't know about the whole history of that. I'll probably have to like read about it or something. Can you tell what Casimero is working on right now to get the win? Like what he's personally doing, they haven't like posted a lot of shit, you know. But he's been working on his strength and conditioning mainly. And then in the later parts of the fight camp, he will probably drop it down, lower the strength and conditioning, and then focus more on his skills because he doesn't want his muscles to be torn down when fight night comes. So he'll probably cut down on the strength and conditioning training at the later parts of the fight. And I would assume that he will stop sparring weeks before the fight happens. I'm not sure who they got as a sparring partner. I heard it was Jesse Magdaleno. I'm not sure about the other shit though. Or the other sparring partners. How is the experience be a factor to this fight? A factor in which I guess Rigo has more experience. He does, but you know, he's also been ducked many times. So I wouldn't say that Rigondeaux has fought everybody. Donaire is someone who fought everybody. I wouldn't say that it's the same for Rigondeaux because there's been so many obstacles in his career, and he hasn't really got, or he hasn't really been given the fights that he really wants. Some would argue that it's the promotions, is the manager, or anything like this. I'm not really sure about what's going on behind the scenes. Like I always say, I just know what the fuck is going on in the ring, and that's what I'm really here for. I'm not a I'm not someone who studies the political side of boxing way too much. I'm not someone who studies the business side of boxing way too much. I know the basics, but I don't know how it works really because I haven't been there, you know. And I don't really bother I don't bother trying to get into that side of boxing because it's just boring for me. Oh, this is fixed. The judge just fucking just talking about this politics bullshit when it comes to boxing. It's not for me. I like the sport. I don't like the politics that comes with it. The ring belt is picked by journalist. Okay, the WBO isn't real either. Damn. I need to expand my knowledge on the belts because I'm not really that knowledgeable about the belts. Let's see. They're fighting. Brendan Jackson. Yes, they're fighting. Rigondeaux when Casimero is fighting. Pacquiao would fuck up the 140 pounders now, right now. That's Pac's natural weight. 140 pounders. That's argumentative. There are some good guys over there. But yeah, most likely he will. 140 pounders. Yeah, 147 though, that's gonna be harder. Brendan Jackson. More people who don't know about politics of boxing need to stop talking about politics in boxing. That's true. That's why I don't talk about oh, the judges said this. Oh, they don't know about any of this shit, guys. You know what I'm saying? Am I lagging? I don't know. I don't care, and I don't really bother trying to study it and trying to know what's going on behind the scenes. I leave that to the journalist, and I will leave that to to whoever does that kind of job. I leave it to them. And the reason why is because it's not really my fucking job to know what's going on behind the scenes. That's the job of a journalist, and that's not what I want to be. I want to be a fucking analyst. An analyst knows what's going on in the ring. An analyst doesn't really bother trying to get involved in the what's going on behind the scenes and in the politics that goes on with it. You know? So I try to keep all my content about the sport and the sweet science and what goes on in the ring. I don't try to talk about politics. I don't try to talk about, oh, this promoter and that promoter did this. Oh, they sold this fucking fight. Oh, the judges was paid. I don't talk about this shit, guys. I just talk about what goes on in the ring, okay? Do you think Casimero already fought a fighter as slick as Rigo? Another thing, Donato said Casimero is flat-footed. Can you see it in the way he moves inside the ring? And then I said, can you see it in the way he moves in the ring? No, he's not flat-footed. Do you think Casimero already fought a fighter as slick as Rigo? Tete is someone who's, I would say it's close to being as slick as Rigondeaux, but he doesn't have a better defense than Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux still has the edge when it comes to defense. Casimero is going to KO Rigo if Rigo shows up how he did for his last fight against Solis. I would say that's a decent performance. The early rounds was definitely stupid. It was a dumb decision to try to plant his feet and all that shit. But the later parts of the fight, he showed his old style and he was able to dominate Solis. I'm kind of dehydrated at the moment. No, man, you get the lineal title if you beat the man of the division. Is he correcting Brendan? I think Brendan is like... No. Is he correcting Steven Seagal? Is he talking to him? No, man, you get the lineal title if you beat the man of the division. The lineal title goes back since the beginning. Yeah, so Jagger knows a little more about the history of the championship belts more than me. I wouldn't say that it's my expertise, so just trust his word, okay? This is a good fella right here. Who wins? Finally, we'll go. Hold on. Another comment. It's fake. The lineal title is fake? I don't know. You guys can have your own chat while I talk about this, okay? If that's the case, guys like Floyd and De La Hoya are 20 division world champions. Oh, do they have the lineal title as well? Floyd and De La Hoya? Steve Seagal is a fake martial artist. He DKSAB. Is that an acronym? I don't know what that means. DKSAB. Steven Seagal. I'm familiar with that name. I don't know who it is though. Steven Seagal. 20 division? You dumbass. What? Because I don't know. I'll let y'all talk while I say my prediction on this, okay? Because me, if you try to debate me on the fucking championship belts, I'll have to study that shit first. I'll have to study the history of the championship belts, you know? I am about to rewatch the last Rigo fight. I just remember him not using his legs and barely throwing anything from what I've seen. That's a recipe for Casimero to catch Rigo with something sudden. I think it's a good balance, okay? He moved his legs, and then he also planted his feet, so it's a good balance of both. You don't know about boxing. You're talking to Steven Seagal over here? You don't know shit about boxing. Yeah, I think y'all are talking to Steven Seagal right here. Don't know shit about boxing. Steven Seagal, they waiting for your response, man. Come on. Talk your shit. Okay. Some motherfuckers are now arguing at my live chat. I like it. Okay, who wins? All right. Okay, new comment. I think Steven already responded. Law, Mr. TBG, that's DKSB. Law. DKSB? Oh, don't know shit about boxing? God damn, my comprehension is terrible. I thought you guys were talking to fucking Steven Seagal over here. I thought you guys were telling him that he doesn't know shit about boxing. But yeah, Jago actually said he did. He did say that Steven Seagal doesn't know shit about boxing. So I guess y'all are talking to him. You know, I'm not sure if you're trying to tell me the meaning of DKSAB or you're talking to Steven Seagal directly. Whatever. Hold on. It's like saying the W interim, man. WBA title. Oh shit. The WBA titles are real. We are a proud T of our environment. TBG. What is T? Proud T of our environment. Lineal champion is made up. I got Casimero by stoppage, but I hope Rigo comes in with some of the same wrinkles he showed versus Donato, even though that was a while ago. Of the three bantamweight champs, who do you think is more likely to be unified, and why? I think the one that is most likely to be unified is Inoue. I'm sorry, I think it's Inoue. But second to that is definitely Casimero. And why? Because I think stylistically, Inoue has a chance against both Donaire and Casimero. Casimero has a chance against Donaire and Inoue combined also. But is it going to be tough? Right now, just thinking on the top of my head, I think it's Inoue. But I'll have to study that and then see what happens, you know? Ricky Hatton was the best light welterweight at that time, Steve. Product. We are a product of our environment, TBG. Product. I don't know what the hell y'all are arguing about, but I like this. The IBO and the WBO are fake belts, like the WBA regular and interim. And then let's see the response. I wish they would stay on topic and talk about the fights instead of bickering like bitch. You got it, Brandon. You got it, motherfucker. Let's go. Lineal Championship is collecting. Yeah, but I like it. I like it. I'm getting more fucking viewers, man. So I guess talking about the belts and the championship belts, bitching about the championship belts kind of works. It engages more people. Inoue will be unified. I think so. I think Inoue has the best chance of being unified. I would like Pacquiao to fight Josh Taylor easy as and get his undisputed title. Haha. Especially if he fights the night in the rematch, I think Inoue will have a bigger chance of being unified. Undisputed is gonna be a whole different subject. Okay, that's gonna take a long time. How Ricky Hatton had been knocked out by Floyd Mayweather the fight before. Floyd was on another level though. Casimero has the upset value to Inoue. Well, while Donaire for the rematch it will be killed. My bad. I don't think he will be killed, but he will definitely be. It will be more convincing. Okay, so the result the last time it was a little bit closer. Now I think Inoue will beat Donaire convincingly in the rematch. What's the difference between unified and undisputed? Unified, you only get 2 belts, and then undisputed, you get all the belts. That's what I know. WBO, WBC, and then WBA. But unified, you only get like 2 belts. That's what I read. I don't fucking know. Again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Is 2 belts unified or 3? 2 belts is unified. Yeah, that's why if Donaire and Casimero fights, it will be a unification match because after that, there'll still be a belt with Inoue that they need to get in order to become undisputed. The winner of that fight will have to get the other belt from Inoue in order to become undisputed. Floyd fight was at 147. And yeah, I think Hatton was not a 147. He was much lighter than that, right? The WBA has 3 champions in each division. Then you have the IBO, the WBF, the WBO, the Ring, the WBC regular, and the franchise IBF. Now you have the lineal in the Ring. Dude, it's a marketing. Jaga, Jaga. Oh my goodness. Can't believe I'm arguing with news. I'm done. Let's stick to the fight. Shut up, Steve. No one wants to argue about trivial record. It's already recorded. Argue with the boxer long. Undisputed, having all the belts. Having any amount of belts besides one or all of them. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You have 1 belt, or you have almost all the belts, but there's still 1 belt that you need to take from someone. If you've seen Pac-Man on his bantamweight performances, how do you think Casimero can match up against him stylistically and technically? At bantamweight, did he fight Ledwaba at bantamweight? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd have to recall. But the lighter versions of Pacquiao, I think Casimero will put up a good fight. But I'm still sticking to Pacquiao on that one. Boxrec doesn't recognize that. Pac-Man skipped bantamweight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember him at bantamweight, Jago. I don't think he went to bantamweight. On Casimero, whatever he do, Inoue won't fight him. Plain and simple. Inoue will not fight Casimero. Yeah, Casimero already done all the fucking efforts. He already went to Bob Arum and he already said, "Give me give me Bob Arum, fight Bob Arum." And then still it's a tough one to get. Steven Seagal, IBO is bigger than WBO and in Europe and Asia. Jago, you got any response to that? Come on. He wants to smoke, man. Okay. Dude, lineal is by the product of analyst, is the byproduct of analyst with thorough analysis to the other champs. Formally, it has no title yet. Mr. Seagal. Oh, lineal has no official title? It's just a product of an analyst. You guys can argue while I stick to the topic, okay? You guys can stay. I have 21 people. I did not expect 21 people, but thank you guys for sticking by. I'll get good lighting the next time around, but yeah, my lighting sucks at the moment. Who wins? Okay. This is gonna be much closer than people think again, but I would go for Casimero by TKO in the late round. So this will be around round 8 to 12. Okay, round 8 to 12. Initially, if you look at my film study, I said decision, but now I think it's going to be by KO. And the reason why is because I've just seen so many improvements from Casimero, and by looking at his fights, from the older ones up to now, I think he has improved a whole lot. They are arguing in the live chat. I'm gonna look at that later, okay? But I know y'all are arguing in the live chat. So again, Casimero by TKO on this one, round 8 to 12. Or the second one that I would say is Casimero by split decision. That's another one. And then the third one, which I think is very unlikely, but it's still possible, is Rigondeaux by split decision, okay? If he does apply the right game plan, I think he has a chance to outbox Casimero, to survive 12 rounds, to make Casimero miss all night long, to counter him, and to employ different strategies in order to deal with the aggressiveness of a prime Casimero. Let's see some arguments over here. Don't cast pearls towards wines. Jago really has this fucking poetic way of expressing things. Don't cast pearls towards wines. I also heard it in podcasts in the past. I've listened to like some podcasts with Jago in podcasts, and he always has this poetic way of saying things. You know what I'm saying? He has this way of like, he has this comment on the night even. Don't I don't know how the fuck to say it, but yeah, I think Jago studied poetry in the past or something. I think he likes to read a lot of literature. Quadrulas defender, what do you think about Caballo? He was my favorite to slay the monster back then. Have you seen the sparring of Inoue and Caballo? I'm not sure if that was Caballo, but Caballo fucking got wobbled. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Caballo can beat Inoue at the moment, but he's definitely good. He has a lot of flaws. I've only seen two fights from Raymar Caballo, but I'll have to watch him more. If you're telling me that he can slay the monster, I don't think so. I think Inoue will probably knock him out. But in a few years, maybe we'll see some improvements, and yeah, we'll see, man. Gabalio is too green. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, where's it? Inoue knocked him out in sparring with headgear on, and he was wobbly and shit, right? His legs was kind of shaky. I saw that too. He was like, oh, man, that was hard to see as a Filipino. Is there a fight date of Rigondeaux versus Casimero? Yeah, August 14th. Jago Bandido. Gabalio needs to get built up slowly. That's true. If he tries to fight Inoue, I think he'll end up like Romero Duno against Ryan Garcia. It's too early. He's got a bright future ahead of him, though. I don't want Gabalio to end up like Romero Duno, man. Donate versus Gabalio needs to happen. Inoue dominates everyone at that weight class easily. Nonito ducked Casimero. Yeah, I saw that, Jago. Yeah, the sparring session. Yep. Inoue ducked before the pandemic. TWAS already scheduled April 25 against Casimero. Well, was this last year? I think Casimero talked about this, and he stayed in Vegas for a long while just to end up discovering that he actually won't get the fight, Steven Seagal, boxing is totally fixed. Marquez beat Pacquiao 3 times. Pacquiao also beat Floyd. Y'all got any answers to that, guys? To Mr. Seagal? Donato is just gonna get eaten anyways. So, Donato should just get beaten by Caballo, who is quiet, but a Filipino. I think he has a better chance against Caballo, definitely. Based on the current skill set of Casimero, what aspect of his fight game do you think he needs to improve or develop in order to be favored against other champs in Bantam and in higher weight class? What aspect of his game do I want to see? It's definitely his stamina, and it's his combination punching. Definitely. Combination punching. Lol, Mr. Seagal, we rescored that JMM123. All is close. But Pac has the edge to the KD faxed. I guess I'm going to see a grown man wearing Hello Kitty hat after 0814. Me? I'm gonna wear that fucking kitty hat? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, what was your bet again? Was your bet split decision by Rigondeaux? Hold on, let me look back. Here we go. Would you be willing to bet to wear a Hello Kitty hat if Rigo wins on your next live, since you predicted 12 round decision for Casimero? Yeah, you said Rigondeaux wins. Rigondeaux wins. I think the United right now sparks Gabalio. True. That's true. Gabalio is, I hate to say it, but Gabalio has a lot to improve, man. You know? I think Casimero just needs to sharpen his tools and become more accurate with them. That's another one, by the way. Punch accuracy. Punch accuracy. Precision. That's another one that I like to improve. Rigo is going to get destroyed. Jago, I agree, Steven. I guess y'all are friends now. Y'all are buddy now. Steven Seagal, Diego Bandito, y'all are buddy now. Y'all were arguing about the belts a while ago, so that's cool. Let's see. Damn, I almost press and broadcast. So again, I think over here, who wins this fight? There are three main predictions that I have in mind. Number one, Casimero by TKO in the late rounds. Number two, Casimero by split decision. And number three, Rigondeaux by split decision. I'm not going to discard that possibility. I'm not going to take away that chance. I'm not going to like say that Rigondeaux has no chance. It definitely has. And I think that despite his age, the stats and his performances are not really reflecting that. He's older, but he's learned to use his tools more wisely. And he's learned to know, or he knows now when to move around, when to use his head movement, when to block, which we've never seen before. We've never seen Rigondeaux really block before and use the high guard. But ever since he got older, he decided to use that. And now we've seen like how amazing he can be with that high guard. You know what I'm saying? So I agree, Steven. Anyway, for my next live streams, I just want to give you guys some ideas on some of the things that I'll talk about in my next live streams. In my future streams, I will talk about when was the date? Who YouTuber you want to collab with? Collab? I don't know. Okay, here's a trivia that I have for you guys. I do not watch other boxing analysts, other boxing content creators, other boxing channels. Most of the YouTubers that I watch are about other topics, not about boxing. And the reason why is because I don't like the content to be the same way, you know. But if there's any YouTuber that I like to collab with, it depends on like the content, and it depends on what we're gonna do, what kind of video we're gonna do. Who's a good one? To collab with? There's a lot of good ones out there, but damn, I have to look at like my subscriptions feed to see who I want to collab with. Let's see. I want to collab with. Damn, all of these are fucking. They're not boxing channels, guys. God damn it. Terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Casimero by stoppage. If I was Casimero, I'd break him down by hitting his chest, shoulders, and biceps. I don't think his dusty old bones will hold up. PewDiePie. I don't watch PewDiePie. Oh, yeah, there's one YouTuber I want to collab with. If you guys know this guy, Zoe, Z-H-O, Zoe, he's a funny-ass motherfucker. I like to collab with that guy in there. Just doing some comedy shit, you know? Zoe, Z-H-O, you guys can look him up. He does like Omegle videos and stuff. Casimero likes probing to set up his power punches. His jab also needs to be improved. Okay, that's another one. Good one. Jab. His jab is kind of abandoned. But he also has a unique style of fighting. I think his chin and defense is underrated. True. Here we go again with Steven. I'll read your comment later. Already plans of collabing with boxing YouTuber in the future. In the Philippines, I don't know. And the reason why is because, okay, I don't like a lot of Filipino content creators so well. Especially like vloggers, Filipino vloggers. Most of them are toxic as fuck. But I'm always open, always open. If there's anyone who wants to spar with me, if I can go to your gym or something like that, I can do that, no problem. I can last 4 to 6 rounds, no problem. I can spar hard 4 to 6 rounds, no problem. With camera, no cameras, no problem. I can go there. But Filipino content creators, most of them are just toxic for me, for my personal taste, and yeah, that's one. Let's see. I do respect Rigo for taking this fight at this stage of his career. Me too. Me too. Casimero will most likely retire him though. TBG, how did you get so educated in boxing? You should be writing of some sort. Writing? What do you mean? Like I'm a writer? Yeah, I was a writer. I got all the way to the national level here in the Philippines. It's called the National Schools Press Conference. I was able to go there back in high school, and I was able to compete against like top universities. But that was fucking editorial writing. If you guys know about that, that was editorial writing. I was able to. I have a background in journalism. I was a journalist back then. Then I transitioned to broadcasting. Then I transitioned to fucking singing. Okay. Then I transitioned to playing the fucking piano. Then I transitioned to boxing. And then I also played basketball back in high school. Rigo has his father time to his last three fights, Casimero by KO mid rounds. The fake belts and Manny has. Oh my god. Okay. The fake belts and Manny has bothered me because of the Tank Davis fake belts. Fake belts are fake belts, but Pac Man is Hall of Fame. Tank is garbage. Whatever you say, Steven. Yeah, I know Zoe. He's huge now. What the fuck? Last time he was struggling with his views, but yeah, damn. Yeah, that dude is funny as a motherfucker. You guys should look him up. Careful now, TBG. You might get that stinky fish branding. How? How, man? How am I gonna get that stinky fish branding? I don't know. Maybe you can comment down, Jago. Curiosity Factory, toxic as hell. Real talk, offer money. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to any Filipino channels. Besides Cuadro Alas, it's my boy, Mark Magsayo, Mark Magnifico Magsayo, and Silver Voice TV. Okay, those are the three ones that I subscribe to. And who else? Oh, Billy Jack Sanchez. Billy Jack Sanchez as well. I'm also subscribed to that fella. Good guy. Very good guy. Who else? Bowcast Sports, another one. But how am I gonna get that stinky fish Brandon, bro? I don't know. Maybe you can explain. The fake belts and money has bothered me because I'm just reading. Whatever you say, man. If you want to get more views, go against those losers from the LDBC. I can't stand those guys. I don't know who the fuck that is, man. The fuck? LDBC? Do you know Fouts Boxing Theory? I've seen him, but I don't watch his videos. And the reason why is, again, because I don't like the content to be similar. And I don't like to be accused of like, oh, you're copying my content. You're copying my fucking topics. You are copying my explanations. I don't like that shit, okay? And that's why I try to avoid watching other boxing channels. It's because I don't want to hear an explanation from them, and then one day I accidentally say the same thing on my videos, and then now all of a sudden we're accusing each other. You're copying me. You are plagiarizing my content without my permission. I don't like that shit, guys. Okay, that's why I don't watch any fucking any videos. I don't like Zoe. It was only at first, but man, it became stuff. It's just a toxic Gen Z acting gay and shit. Uh, I will agree, and the reason why is because I don't watch him these days. I used to watch him when he was at 200K. Not now. Not now. Right now, I think he's at 800K. Am I correct? Let me see, guys. How many subscribers does Zoe have now? Zoe has 700. Yeah. I used to watch him at 200K now. And then I stopped at around 500. When he was at 500K, he stopped I didn't really watch him anymore. Bro, check out Ghetto Filipino Funny as well. I know him. I've seen his videos. I don't know him personally. Okay, don't take that the wrong way. I've seen his videos back then, but I think that guy just what really makes his videos funny is the editing. Okay, the editing, his ability to like uh, show himself, and then he's gonna talk to a girl, right? He's gonna talk to a fucking girl, and then he's gonna insert some awkward music, and he's gonna use his editing skills to make it funny. It's not necessarily his words or his skills, his talking skills that really makes it funny. More so the editing. Whereas if you look at Zoe is a little more funny because of his talking skills and his jokes. It's not much. He's not as reliant on editing. Ghetto Filipino's editing, or Ghetto Filipino is reliant on his editing to make his shit funny. He puts in like OPM songs after. He puts in like R&B songs after each clip, and that's what makes his videos funny. The editing. Bro, is that ring Box and Genius? What are the things you're genius at? You think you can make? Hold on. You think you can make other channels? Someone texted Discord. Bro, aside from you being a boxing genius, what other things you're genius at? You think you can make other channel for it? Someone texted on fucking. You'll need to check out. Y'all need to check out Fightful. Hey, check out that dude, bro. I've never watched him before, but I've been hearing him from Jago, and yeah, go subscribe to the fella. I may visit him one day, but who knows? Bro, aside from you being a boxing genius, what other things are genius at? You think you can make other channel for it? Well, I've been studying political science for almost. I started at grade 6th grade, and then right now I'm at freshman in college. And then I also was a what else? Was a journalist back then, so that's what driven me to study political science really. But I don't really plan on making content out of that. That's fucking corny as shit for me, and that's kind of cheesy, you know. I read all the law college textbooks when it comes to law here in the Philippines, the civil code, the uh, the 1987 Constitution, the just all the codes, the textbooks and the college textbooks. My parents kind of made me read all that shit when I was a kid. All the college textbooks that you'll have in your first year of law, they made me read that shit. They made me memorize that shit. You know what I'm saying? The civil code, the family code. I mean, I'll have to look at my bookshelf to remember all of them. But when I look at a book, I'll automatically know what's inside of the book, and I can easily like memorize it. You all need to check out Fire Phone. Check multimedia presentation better. Multimedia is good too. Yeah, I've seen them. Like the documentary types of videos. I don't mind seeing them, but if it comes to like analysis and breakdowns, I don't really watch it. But you know, documentaries and commentaries on certain videos. You know, documentaries on certain videos. I don't mind doing that. Boxing documentaries, boxing. You know those videos with FX, and then they'd edit a fighter, or yeah, documentary type of videos when it comes to boxing. I don't mind watching those, but breakdowns, analysis, I try to keep mine original. That's why I shy away from watching other breakdowns and other analysis from fighters. Uh, what the fuck? You're a year older than to my daughter, Mr. TBG. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm only young, guys. I'm not that old, but you know, some people think I'm older because of my voice. Apparently, I sound like a black guy. I'm the Asian that sounds like a black guy, so you know, everyone thinks that I'm older than I am. I'm only 19. Okay, a lot of y'all can be my father, Mr. Nas Mendoza. You can probably be my father, Jago Bandido. You can probably be my father. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are probably in your like late 30s. I'm only 19, guys. You're What do you think about McGregor Poirier 3? I like McGregor to lose so that Audiatar's Paradigm Company gets bankrupt. What do you think about McGregor Poirier 3? I like McGregor to lose so that Audiatar's Paradigm Company gets bankrupt. Oh, is that the one that sued Manny Pacquiao because he fought Spence instead of Mikey Garcia? I've seen that from somewhere. Political science, just tell me, bro. Pacquiao versus Duterte is kind of noisy right now. Yeah, I can talk about that, no problem. But I can talk about the flaws of Pacquiao and why I'm not necessarily in favor of him getting into politics, and why some of his policies are flawed, and there are some discrepancies in his policies that can be addressed. But again, politics is a boring topic for me, guys. I don't like that shit, okay? But I know about it, and so there's a difference right there. I would say politics, law, and economics. Those are like, I'm not. I'm at a B level at the moment. I'm only at the B level. I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, but I can I can debate with a senior in college, no problem. I can give a senior in college a pretty good debate, in the top universities, no problem. I was a debater back in high school as well. I'm not going to name the universities no more, but I faced some pretty big schools, big universities in Metro Manila. If you guys are from the Philippines, Metro Manila or Manila, I should say, is the capital city. So, yeah. Okay, Mr. TBG, John, keep up the good work. Salute. But again, I don't like talking about myself way too much. So, goddamn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I sound like a narcissist here. Y'all asked for it, so I just answered. Okay. AJ Usyk, Wilder Fury. Weaknesses, strength of each other. Who do you think will be the new undisputed? Okay. AJ Usyk, Wilder Fury. Weaknesses, strength of each other. That's a long topic. I'll just answer the second question. Who will be the new undisputed? Okay. AJ Usyk, Wilder Fury. Who will be? Tough question, man. Those are all good guys. And if you like match them up against each other, it will always be a turn. It will always turn out differently. You know what I'm saying? So if AJ and Usyk fights, it's going to be a different result as opposed to like if he fights Wilder because the styles are different. So who will be the new undisputed? Just thinking on top of my head, I think it will be. I will rank them from 1 to 4. It will be Fury, and then it will be AJ. It will be Usyk, and Wilder will be last. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my fucking ass, guys. I don't know, guys. Who wins? Pure pound for pound. Roy Jones. Roy Jones, bro. If you're talking about prime Roy Jones, I don't think anyone can beat that guy. Roy Jones hands down. I hope Wilder and Fury knock each other out. I want to see a double knockout. Oh, like a simultaneous punch landing. But Wilder was only stopped. No, he went down. He went down. Yeah, he went down actually. So that is possible. That's possible for them to like get knocked down at the same time. Wilder got some skinny ass legs, bro. That motherfucker doesn't run. He only swims. He doesn't even do road work and shit. Because he ends up fighting in the early round, And when he had to go to a point where he had to fight in the late rounds, you saw what happened. They're holding up the division. Haha, defender. What did he say? Triple knockout. Count the ref as well. Yeah, imagine if that happens. I think Glad is showing a comeback. Shaking my head. Hold on, I saw a comment. Y'all know Silver Voice, right? The Playboy is the velvety voice. I saw this comment, but I did not read it a while ago. Y'all referring to me? I don't think I have a velvety voice, but thank you guys. I don't think those clowns will ever unify those belts. Heavyweight is a dumpster fire, in my opinion. That's true. That's true. I don't think they'll get the chance to like. Did you say unify? I don't think those clowns will ever unify those belts. Heavyweight is a dumpster fire. Unify, possible, but undisputed, that's going to be tough for those fighters because their styles are so contrast, or their styles are so opposed to each other that every fight will be a different outcome. So in my opinion, Fury will be the most complete fighter amongst them. All right, guys, let's have 5 more minutes and then I'll head out. What about Canelo versus Beterbiev? Good one, good one. Beterbiev is a friend of George St. Pierre. Beterbiev is tough, but I think that Canelo will eventually like break him down. I don't see him knocking out Beterbiev or stopping him, but Canelo will win by decision. I think. Who has the higher chance of thriving in a weight class? Because no matter where in the way, since Donaire can handle higher weight. Yeah, and Donaire is close to retiring, bro. So you know, who has a higher chance of thriving in a higher weight class? Because no matter where anyway, Casimero walks around heavier, and I think that's gonna be good for him because it doesn't have to cut as much weight before the fight, as opposed to now that he has to cut so much weight. 140, 118. That's a big fucking leap. And I think there was a point where he even walked around at 150 pounds. So that's a tough thing right there. What's going to happen? Casimero loses the fight against Rigo. Is it? Good question here. What's going to happen if Casimero loses the fight against Rigo? Is he going to be totally out of the elite, having no belt? I don't think so. I don't think so. But it will be a big embarrassment if that happens because you have an old fucking old head, defeating a guy in his prime. And I think it's going to be a long time before Casimero bounces back if he loses. But Reviev will spank Canelo like a redheaded stepchild. Will he? I don't know. I have to watch Beterbiev more. I think Canelo can break him down, but I've only watched highlights of Beterbiev, so I'll have to see. Well, but we all know Canelo will put in a dehydration clause, so you're probably right. Dehydration clause, you're probably right. Beterbiev will spank Canelo like a redheaded. I mean, Beterbiev is durable as fuck. I just think that, just looking from his highlights, Canelo can exploit a lot of those openings and eventually break him down. So that's what I think. I'll have to watch that fight. Hold on. Same opinion. Fury will be the most complete fighter among them. Yeah, it's a shame that Casimero doesn't have Jorge Capetillo anymore. He'll go back to Nono Ineri. You know what I'm saying? Casimero will whoop all the bantamweight right now. Casimero is too strong right now. Really? Casimero will whoop all the bantamweight right now. I don't know what the fuck I'm reading, guys. Casimero will whoop all the bantamweight right now. Casimero is too strong. Yeah, in a way, will be his toughest test, in my opinion. Have you watched how Casimero embarrass Raisi Alim in sparring? Who is Raisi Alim? Well, I'm familiar with him. I just never seen him fight. I've heard him from Discord, from our server, from our Discord server. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to like mention it here, but we have this Discord server, and he's been mentioned there a couple of times, but I'm not sure. Bro, before you go, when will be our next live so we can spare time ahead? I'm not sure. I'll notify you guys one day in advance. Who do you think has a high chance to beat Canelo in his division, middleweight and light heavy? Is David Benavidez in those weight class? I'll have to recall. David Benavidez has the best chance. He still has a lot of work to do, but here's the thing: that mental aspect is something that you cannot teach. And Benavidez has this toughness in him that he doesn't really back down against anyone. So Benavidez just has this bully mentality, and that's the same thing with his older brother, Jose Benavidez. If you see Jose Benavidez fighting against Crawford, he had that same bully mentality. He really thought that his fucking ego was so big that, he just walked by Crawford all night long until he got caught with that left uppercut, I think, and then he got knocked out. That mental toughness is something that you can't teach. And I think Benavidez has that, David Benavidez. But Reviev also has that, but I think he just lacks defense a little bit, and Canelo can break him down. But Reviev is more skillful than Canelo. But Reviev chin will be tested if he. Well, no, but it's Canelo. But Reviev chin will be tested if he hit Canelo power punch one MD. That's true. So again, guys, who do you think has a high chance to beat Canelo in this division? No, not this, bro. Before you go, when will be your next live so we can spare time ahead? I don't know. I'll notify you guys a day ahead, like I said. And our next topics will be some dream fights: Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia, Inoue versus Donaire rematch. Those are fights that are not going to happen yet, not official yet, but I find it interesting to talk about those, you know. And then the other ones are obviously Wilder versus Fury, the third fight, and then Pacquiao versus Spence. Am I right? Yeah, Pacquiao versus Spence. And then I'll have to think about the other ones because talking about controversies, I could have gone on here, guys, and said and talked about the issue between Donaire and Casimero. I could have came here and then talked about the fucking issues between Rachel Donaire and talked about this feminist propaganda. I could have came in here and did that. I could have ranted. I could have shouted. I could have screamed. I could have. I could have became all emotional and up in my feelings to get your attention. Rachel, I could have done all of that shit. But it's not in my personality to rant about all that shit and to bitch about things that don't even affect my personal life. Some people will take advantage of those issues and they will make content out of it. But again, my content is mainly about the sport in itself. And oh, okay. I saw a comment here. He was shot months before that fight as well. Crawford struggled with one-legged bandit. Who? Jose Benavides? Really? He got shot in the fucking leg? I didn't know that. Yeah, that motherfucker Jose Benavides is tough as a motherfucker. And I think it's just natural for him. Hold on. Notifies, bro. Good night, bro. Kita-kits sa next live, kapatid. Kita tayo sa susunod, brother. Ayan, nagtagalog na ako para sa'yo. Curiosity Factory. Velvet Voice daw. Tawag sa akin. Sabi ni Jago kanina. Nasaan yun? Velvet Voice. Medyo nabusog yung ego ko dun. Pero ayan. Alright. I'm not gonna speak Tagalog anymore. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Velvet Voice. Velvet Voice. Yeah, my ego got kind of fed with that shit. Thank you guys for hold on. Oh, you should have. Thank you for your time. Good to see you, a true content creator, not recycled content. Yeah, all this shit is like recycle, not recycled. Okay, take it easy, fellas. Keep safe. Bless. Peace out. Good night, bro. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next live. And that was it. Velvet Voice, the Asian guy that sounds like a black guy, whatever you want to call me, the boxing genius. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.